later than me, 1 hour later than him. So, if you've missed any of your favourite shows on me, you can catch them again on me. ITV1+1 is now available on Freeview Channel 33, Sky 131, Freesat 112 and Virgin 114. Guess I'll see you later then. Yeah, in an hour.
ITV1+1, the plus side.
A college master is found dead, and that leaves Lewis and Hathaway to discover the truth. They get a rare insight into the nature of college life during their investigation. It's right after a new series, The Corrie Years.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's The Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
Many words have been written about Coronation Street and its enduring mix of comedy,
Am I hallucinating, or is that a turkey in my hallway?
action, and drama.
No, you don't, Baldwin. No.
But ever since that first episode, now over 50 years ago, it's never been a series scared of writing its own headlines.
We didn't expect to get the reaction that we got.
Over the next half hour, we'll revisit the storylines that created such an impact they made front-page news.
It was spoken about in government and it was on the news.
It's not often you get mentioned in the House of Commons.
And we'll finally reveal the shocking scenes the street was forced to shelve.
I came out of Granada and was greeted with a board of journalists.
As we tell the stories behind the stories.
We did the best we could with it, and hopefully the message did get out there.
From 5 decades of the Corrie years. It's 1998, and love is in the air as Posh and Bex get engaged.
I'm embarrassed now, stop it.
Wonder drug Viagra is on the rise.
If the new drug is approved, demand for it is bound to be enormous.
And Gateshead unveils its very own angel.
Onlookers, dwarfed by the entire operation, looked on in awe.
Meanwhile, over in Coronation Street, a miscarriage of justice is about to spark a media frenzy.
First it was the woman who shot JR, then it was Mandy Jordache in Brookside, soap trials that gripped the nation. But now it's getting serious.
One of Coronation Street's most talked about plots saw Deirdre Rashid fall for con man John Lindsay. And it was all based on a true story which happened to a friend of the show's executive producer.
I probably had a glass of wine at lunchtime or something, I don't know, but I said, I'm going to tell you this story and do with it what you want.
And that's how it started. So you've got Deirdre falling for John Lindsay, thinks he's a pilot.
I said, John, you sound a bit funny.
There's a time delay.
What?
A time delay on international calls. It's always worse from Nairobi for some reason.
I knew that he was going to turn out to be a bad un, but Deirdre obviously didn't have a clue. Before you start, Ken, this isn't going to be a lecture about John, is it? And it went on for months.
And have you seen him actually flying planes? Because I've seen him actually selling ties.
The audience was savvy to what this guy was up to way before Deirdre was, so they're waiting for the payoff.
Go on, then. Lie your way out of this one.
The beauty of this story was you thought there was a payoff, and then there was another one, and then there was another one.
Here, I put you down as the other signatory.
Oh, John.
Every week you were going, oh, can it get worse for Deirdre?
Hello, John. Having a nice holiday?
And of course, it was up to us to go, yes, it can. And it did.
1 count of obtaining a credit card by deception. 1 count of procuring a mortgage by fraud. 8 counts of illicitly withdrawing £500 from the credit card account of Mr. Ian Jenkins.
So I think by the time you got to the trial, you'd think, oh, yeah, she'll get off now. Because actually, things aren't looking too sweet for Deirdre.
Guilty on all 8 counts.
This isn't right. There's the real villain sitting there.
We were getting a huge, huge press interest.
The Sun absolutely seized upon it. And they got T-shirts printed. And it just absolutely took off.
As the campaign to free Deirdre got underway, the whole nation jumped on board.
Campaigning for the release of Deirdre Rashid, jailed for a crime she didn't commit.
But there was one particular image which summed up Deirdre's traumatic ordeal.
We needed the cell picture, so we had to find a room with a window area that we could put the bars up so that Deirdre was in jail. I got hold of the woodwork man and he made me a couple of bars. The painter then painted them battleship grey and Annie kindly held on to them. The Daily Star printed it across the double page. You would drive down the street and every other shop or every office or people's houses had this great big picture like this, and it was your picture on everybody's window. It was great to see.
It did catch the public's imagination. Also, let's not forget, it was bloody good drama.
But you're right. Yeah, you're right. There are two type of cons in here. Do you know what they are? Them that make it, and them that don't.
I always thought it was quite funny that the Sun newspaper claimed that they managed to get Deirdre free from prison. Well, she was always going to prison for 3 weeks. It's a soap opera. You plan months ahead. It wasn't just like we sent her to prison and the Sun got her out, so we just changed the story. No.
You should like it in there, John. It's directly beneath the flight path to the airport.
It's 1963. Beatlemania is about to take off as the Fab Four take on the world. And Henry Cooper prepares to face a new foe who is to become a lifelong friend.
Who do you think's going to win? Cooper.
But Coronation Street's most shocking plot in its short history is controversial enough to knock them all off the front page.
When Coronation Street started, there was a raincoat factory called Ellison's, and lots of the characters worked there.
Me and Doreen are coffee at 6:30. Oh, don't wear a tight skirt.
We were known as the Barm Cake Girls because we used to go in the corner shop and ask for barm cake butties.
Oh, a potted meat barm cake and a cream on. Same for me, please. Sorry, the barm cakes aren't ready yet.
The character of Sheila Bertels very, very much sort of represented a lot of working class girls.
Oh, isn't she precocious? They're the kind that make jail bait, you know. What a thing to say. Now
She was a bit ditzy and loved having lots of fun and loved her friends and was always trying to get off with the boys.
Ooh, mind a night out with him.
But she was very romantic. She wanted something more exciting.
That excitement came in the form of smooth-talking businessman Neil Crossley.
She thought he was in love with her. It was going to be glorious. And he didn't want her.
Keep your voice down! Keep my voice down. I'll shout as much as I like. And there's plenty to shout about. I could tell them all about... Someone ring the police.
Because she hadn't been at work, they gave her cards, so she had no job. She'd no man, no money.
Actress Eileen Mayers was coming to the end of her contract, and the writers needed a way out for Sheila. But what they came up with quickly led to moral outrage.
A suicide in 1963 on television was unheard of. Margaret Morris was the first female producer on Coronation Street. She was kind of going out on a limb with this story, which was very, very controversial at the time, but she wanted it to be a real portrayal of a real northern girl. But there comes a point when you're planning a story and she wasn't prepared for the backlash.
With the suicide scenes already filmed, the cast and crew had no idea what was about to happen next.
I came out of Granada having finished and was greeted with a board of journalists. And I couldn't believe it.
I leaked the story. Within a day, all hell broke loose. Viewers started to phone the studios and to phone the daily newspapers, complaining they didn't want this, the horror. Granada had a rethink, and within 24 hours, Margaret Morris ordered a complete rewrite. She said, it was an idea, we thought it would come off, it didn't, we changed it.
The controversial episode was cut short, and instead of witnessing a suicide, viewers simply saw Sheila take a couple of pills before the scene faded to black.
It is disappointing when you think, oh, that's it, that's quite good or something, and then it doesn't get shown, but that's the way it is.
What the viewers didn't see has remained on Granada's shelves for nearly 50 years, unseen by the public and actress Eileen Mayers. until now.
I had to turn on the gas and lie on the bed and expect to die.
If there'd been no story, the episode would have gone out. She'd have committed suicide. The public would have been horrified, I think. It was good that it did come out. I mean, the publicity did save Sheila Bertels, anyway.
All right, I'll force it with my penknife if I can.
The following episode was hastily rewritten, and viewers saw Sheila being rescued by concerned neighbours.
Sheila, love. It's Len.
Instead of finding herself at Heaven's Gate, Sheila Bertels remained much closer to home, sent to stay with her parents in nearby Rawtenstall.
I had an actress friend who used to say, well, dear, you've been front page news. And she was very envious. I said, well, I'd rather not have been. I'd rather they'd shown the episode.
Coming next, a family crisis for the Platts sparks a media debate.
Please tell me it's not true. The Sarah Louise pregnancy storyline absolutely exploded and it was everywhere.
And Ken and Deirdre make front-page news.
We just thought, oh, there'd be some letters, but there was a bit more than letters.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's The Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
Jeff, what's with haute cuisine and those square plates?
It's a culinary conspiracy designed to distract the eye from the distinct lack of food.
Well, you won't see my stonking Marmite cheese omelette on anything non-circular.
There's no pulling the wool over your taste buds, Dave. Haute cuisine?
Haute cuisine.
Love Marmite recipes.
Thrilling, gripping, jaw-dropping. It's the best of the lot. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
The BHS Spectacular is now on. Wear the new season styles with up to 30% off women's and menswear. Fantastic savings on children's wear too. Plus, with up to 50% off furniture and home, there are too many offers to miss. Shop in-store and online at bhs.co.uk. Hurry, must end Sunday.
Only stressless recliners offer unique comfort features, 3 sizes, and a 10-year guarantee, so you won't want to be distracted by anything. With free leather upgrade on selected recliner chairs with footstool. Comfort is another word for stressless. From Ponsford of Sheffield, Rogers of York, and Ward Brothers of Doncaster.
At Tesco, these Muller Rice multi-packs are buy one, get 2 free. That's thrice the rice. 1, 2 free. At Tesco, every little helps.
If you don't have an iPhone, you don't have AirPlay, which makes it easy to play music from your phone on your stereo. Or see the photos you've taken on your TV. And if you want to share your favourite movie, that's easy too. AirPlay. Just one more thing that makes an iPhone an iPhone.
Borrowing an extra bit of cash to see through an expensive period could be a real hassle, especially if you've been refused credit in the past or are self-employed. But if you own a car that's free of finance and want the money quickly, you could now turn to AutoMoney for a logbook loan. AutoMoney lend money that's secured, not on your house like some other lenders, but on your car. It's so convenient. We simply value the car, make sure you can afford the repayments, and you could drive away with up to £5,000, and you keep your car. So get the money you need from AutoMoney. Call 08000 28 27 26 today or visit auto-money.co.uk.
Travel by steam train in traditional carriages to York or Scarborough on the Scarborough Spa Express across Yorkshire's beautiful countryside, picking up at Normanton, Wakefield, Woodleford, Castleford and York. Children travel for £10 return. Don't miss this unforgettable day.
Book online at scarboroughexpress.com.
The story behind Shaw with fine fragrances.
While going to the launch of my latest perfume, I noticed that women never stop. I wondered how they can smell great and at the same time be protected against sweat. That day I decided that my perfumes had to be inside a long-lasting antiperspirant rather than in small glass bottles.
New Sure Fragrance Collection. Fine fragrances, long-lasting protection. Sure, it won't let you down.
Tomorrow on Daybreak.
This lady gets very saucy.
Hollywood's hottest star, Jennifer Aniston, reveals all about being a horrible boss. In her brand new role.
See how this thing's working. Oh! Oh my God! Oh! I'm sorry.
Join Jennifer Aniston tomorrow on Daybreak.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's The Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
It's the year 2000, and as the new millennium dawns in London, Judith Keppel prepares to receive a cheque for £1 million.
It would be lovely to have some more money. I just really look forward to what I can do with it.
But on Coronation Street, it's another imminent delivery that's hitting the headlines.
Sarah Louise's pregnancy got a very positive reaction from viewers and also from the press because it's real and it's about families and generations. She thought she was getting fat, so her mother thought she had an eating disorder.
The reason why Sarah Louise has put on some weight is because she's pregnant.
It's stunning, it's devastating, it's a bomb dropped in a family.
Please tell me it's not true.
It was normal families that were watching the TV, and they were very much making the Platt family like your family. This could happen to your family. And how would you react?
A lot of people would say to me that it meant it was the first time that a family could get together and talk about situations like that. Martin, I only did it the once.
I know. You were unlucky.
She was naive.
The fact is, Gail, she was both.
The storyline absolutely exploded and it was everywhere. I think it was spoken about in government and it was on the news.
What was so important about Coronation Street's decision to do this as a storyline is they took it really seriously. You know, they spoke to the Department of Health, they got all sorts of factual information because they were really clear from the beginning. They wanted to get it right.
Now, these are disposables. A lot of mothers use these. But you might prefer the old-fashioned terry toweling ones.
But at the same time, it meant a lot of the newspapers were then also more interested in covering the issue, talking about teenage pregnancy, because it was happening on Coronation Street. We had one of the highest teenage pregnancy rates in Europe, and that, of course, meant a lot of young girls ending up dropping out of school. And I think it was really important that Coronation Street was taking a really tough social issue head-on and being honest about it and about the realities of it.
That's it. One last push for me now, Sarah. That's it. Good girl.
I'd only been in Coronation Street a short time as well, so I thought that whole kind of pow was a normal reaction to Coronation Street storylines.
Having already been praised by the government, Coronation Street was then applauded by its peers.
It actually won an award for Best Storyline at Soap Awards, and I remember just being absolutely terrified about going up. I feel really proud to be part of that.
1983. Protests against nuclear weapons on the streets of Britain as CND goes on the march. Margaret Thatcher celebrates a second term in office. And the racehorse makes front-page news as Shergar goes missing, presumed kidnapped.
The search for Shergar is nationwide.
And meanwhile, back in Weatherfield, a story is about to change the relationship between the soaps and Britain's tabloids.
Ken and Deirdre had had quite a pleasant, nice marriage. But of course, it's Coronation Street, and people don't want to watch nice, pleasant things. They want to watch things going wrong.
Please?
Yeah. All right.
wasn't just she was having an affair. It was with a character who'd always been diametrically opposed to Ken. Ken saw him as a little cynical business opportunist, didn't care about people, really didn't like him.
Right, come on then. What you having?
No, not for me, thank you.
Oh, come on, it was only a joke I was going along with. If I went too far, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, your jokes have a habit of going too far.
I mean, it became sensational. It was the biggest thing, I think, of that year.
You're asking me to turn me back on my family, walk out on my marriage.
But it's not a marriage, is it? Not anymore, not the sort you want. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come to me in the first place.
The triangle story was the first that I can recall in which the press got into the debate of who she should go with or what should she do.
All the women's columnists did. They knew the readers here. This is the thing that people are going to be talking about.
That's when it really dawned on the tabloids that they can sell papers because of a street.
As Deirdre and Mike's affair continued, it wasn't just the press who were giving their opinion.
We didn't expect to get the reaction that we got. We just thought, oh, there'd be some letters, but there was a bit more than letters. Because it is about things that happen to people every day.
When Ken finally found out about his wife's infidelity, events hit fever pitch.
No.
In one of the show's most gripping scenes yet.
Why did you put the phone down on me?
It's Ken. He knows. I've told him everything.
Get out of this house. Shut up! I'm warning you. Get out of this house.
Better you go. Go.
That climactic scene propelled Coronation Street from a column in the TV section to front page news.
There was a period of years after that in which some of the tabloids seemed to be nothing but soap stories.
All the tabloids from then on started to employ people just to look at the soaps, also the whole soap genre.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what I'm doing.
And that was the watershed when all the tabloids realised the power of the so-called soaps. It just hit the pulse of the nation.
(2009), and Cumbria witnessed its worst floods in history. The world says goodbye to the king of pop.
Good evening. We have breaking news for you tonight. The singer Michael Jackson is reported to have died from a heart attack.
And in Coronation Street, another story is hitting the headlines, as real life and street life go hand in hand.
When the breast cancer storyline first got mentioned, you know, me and Sally was really excited about it and thought this is going to be really, really challenging.
It was a difficult storyline for Coronation Street to undertake, and particularly difficult for the character Sally Webster.
So, what have you got planned for your day off?
Well, I might pop into town in a bit, pick up a few things for tomorrow.
The Corrie scriptwriters approached me because of my connection with Sally, the actress, because I'd known her in her capacity as a patron of the Genesis Breast Cancer Prevention Appeal. More than 1 in 10 women will get breast cancer sometime in their life, and so it's an important story to tell. Sally and the scriptwriting team were very keen to portray the story with medical accuracy as well as emotional accuracy.
Mum, what are you doing? I couldn't find my keys.
Actress Sally Dinaver researched the storyline herself, but found the scripts drew a parallel with her own life, when she too found a lump.
She thought, oh blimey, I better go and have a breast checkup myself because I've got a lump. Sally initially came for her tests on the Monday to a one-stop clinic. However, Sally said, look, I'm filming these crucial emotional scenes, so I'd rather not know today.
So?
I'm sorry.
What's the matter?
I promised myself just take no notice of me.
Sally came on set and she just took me into the corner and said, I'm not going to be able to rehearse these scenes. She said, I am going to be able to play them, but I'm not going to rehearse them.
Sally, please. What is it?
I've got cancer.
Everybody on the set knew something was the matter, but nobody knew what was happening.
As Sally was Filming those scenes, those emotional scenes that were broadcast on Christmas Day, she herself must have had that stomach-churning uncertainty in the back of her mind. What is my own lump?
I didn't want to tell you till after Christmas.
Sal.
I found a lump. And I've had it tested. And I've got breast cancer.
And it was on that Thursday that I had to break the news to her that her own lump, Sally the actress's lump, was also a breast cancer. And so there was a very strange coming together of real life and her fictional character in the same week.
I thought that took a tremendous amount of courage, and Sally did really well with it. These issues are important to get across, and you can't take them lightheartedly. We did the best we could with it, and hopefully the message did get out there.
Is it likely to be terminal?
It's just as likely. You could make a complete recovery.
In the UK, there may be as many as 500,000 women now who are breast cancer survivors, and many of those women watch Coronation Street. And so with Sally's storyline unfolding, they had a real connection with that character and were able to identify with what Sally was going through. And I think for them, the storyline has been a very helpful one to identify with and to gain support and comfort from.
And the Corrie Years continues here on ITV1 next Wednesday at the same time, 7:30. Coming up after the break, the net is thrown wide in Lewis. Over on ITV2, the search continues in America's Got Talent, and it's the 7th round of the British Superbike Championship on ITV4.
Harvey's the furniture store, bringing your home to life.
Dark and difficult times lie ahead. We must all face